Hello and welcome to The Hindu. I'm Sharmada Venkatasubramanian, bringing you the top news stories from across the world. The White House has accused India of imposing a 100% tariff on American agricultural goods, stating that such high levies make it quote-unquote virtually impossible for US products to enter Indian markets. On March 31st, White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt criticized these tariffs, saying they have been unfairly imposed for too long. President Donald Trump, who has long spoken against high tariffs, plans to introduce reciprocal tariffs on April 2nd, calling it quote-unquote Liberation Day for the US. A seek and destroy operation is underway in Kathua to track down 3 militants suspected to be hiding in a forested area after an encounter on March 31st. The militants had first faced security forces near the international border on March 23rd but managed to escape. 4 days later, 2 militants were eliminated in a gunfight, while 3 others fled, resulting in the deaths of 4 policemen and injuries to 3 others. Security forces have intensified efforts, laying night cordon to prevent their escape. 6 individuals have been detained for allegedly aiding the militants, including relatives of a suspected overground worker who is already in jail for his role in past attacks. A Delhi court ordered an FIR against Delhi Cabinet Minister Kapil Mishra and others to investigate his alleged role in the 2020 Delhi riots. Additional Chief Judicial Magistrate Vaibhav Charesia found a prima facie cognizable offence requiring a probe. Controversial self-styled prophet Bajinder Singh has been sentenced to life imprisonment by a local court in Punjab in connection with a 2018 rape and sexual harassment case. The court found Bajinder Singh guilty of repeated rape under Section 376(2)(n) of the Indian Penal Code, sentencing him to imprisonment for the remainder of his life. The police had registered an FIR against him in April 2018 under multiple IPC sections, including rape, causing hurt, and criminal intimidation. In 2025, he was also booked for sexual harassment, stalking, and criminal intimidation following a complaint by a 21-year-old woman who had been a volunteer at his ministry. Government data shows that GST collections grew by 9.9% in March, reaching over Rs 1.96 lakh crore. Domestic GST revenue increased by 8.8%, while revenue from imported goods grew by 13.56%. After adjusting for refunds, net GST revenue stood at Rs 1.76 lakh crore, reflecting a 7.3% year-on-year growth. Shares of Vodafone Idea jumped 10% after reports that the Indian government will more than double its stake in the company to 48.99% by acquiring shares worth Rs 36,950 crore to settle outstanding spectrum auction dues. The stock hit the upper circuit limit on both the BSE and the NSE, reflecting investor optimism over the government's involvement. Survivors of Myanmar's devastating earthquake, which killed over 2,700 people, are struggling to access food, water, and shelter amid ongoing civil war. The 7.7 magnitude quake, the strongest to hit Myanmar in a century, has left more than 4,500 injured. Aid groups are struggling to provide relief, especially in areas like Mandalay, as the ongoing conflict hampers humanitarian efforts. President Xi Jinping and his Indian counterpart Draupadi Murmu, besides Chinese Premier Li Qiang and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, exchanged congratulatory messages respectively on April 1st, marking the 75th anniversary of bilateral relations amid the efforts to reset the ties after over 4 years of freeze due to the Eastern Ladakh military standoff. French far-right leader Marine Le Pen has been found guilty of embezzlement and barred from seeking public office for 5 years. This ruling effectively prevents her from running in France's 2027 presidential elections. Le Pen, who was also sentenced to 4 years in prison, 2 of which are suspended, and fined €100,000, has called the ruling a political move against her party. That's all for today's news wrap. Stay updated with The Hindu. Subscribe for more.